Okay, so welcome everyone for the.
Charles, it's a bit soft, audio.
Is it very soft?
Okay, now better. Sometimes soft, sometimes loud.
Hello, can you still hear me, Frederick?
Still a bit soft.
Okay, let's see whether we can increase the gain. Okay, can everyone hear me loud and clear now?
Yeah, better.
Okay, so we'll begin with the presentation slide. So I think we have about 12 participants right now. Okay, so today we're going to be covering ATEN's live streaming and content creation solutions. So we look through some of the products that is available from ATEN. Because I got feedback. Okay, so on the agenda for today, we have the product introduction. So the product introduction, we'll be covering UC3020, UC3021, UC3022. So these are the beginner level products, mostly used for content capturing. Okay, then we have the higher end or mid-tier or flagship level, which is the UC9020 or UC9040. Okay, so we cover the product features and introductions, and then followed by applications. So how you can use the product in which environment. And then subsequently, we'll have a hands-on live demo to show you how to operate UC9040. So if you have been constantly keeping in touch with us, you should know that we previously had a UC9020. So now we have the UC9040, which is the updated model, which has more features. So later we cover the newer model, which is the UC9040. Okay, so why did this content streaming or content capturing requirement come about? So we know that during COVID, a lot of people have been stuck at home, and then we have to work from home. But if you work from home, there's a lot of hassles. And how do you like communicate with others, or you share whatever you do with others? Yeah. So you know that religious institutions were closed down. Schools were closed down. Because of this, we have to adopt to new lifestyle measures. So we have to work from home, or uh, do education or preaching or worship from home. Yeah. So this is where this product line actually fit in. We will cover more on applications later. Okay, so a lot of industries are affected, as I mentioned earlier. So corporate industry, educational industry, religion industry, some to touch on. So there's still others which is not in listed here. Yeah. So corporate, corporate companies, they have 200 to 500 employees. So not everyone can report to work. So how would they, um, communicate with each other or share certain things with each other? Yeah, so this is what we will touch on later. Okay. And then for educational sector, there's a lot of students in school, and then there's a teacher-student interaction. Yeah, so this one also now, not everyone can be in class. So how do they go about doing their education or teaching to students? Yeah. So same goes for religion as well. So you cannot have mass gathering. So how would you do the sharing of content or the religious material? Yeah. So we later will cover some of the application and use case studies that we have. Okay, so for live streaming now, we know that a lot of corporate education and religion are doing it. So what are they using it for? They're using it for remote training, remote preaching, or remote how to educational teach the students. Okay, so there are multiple platforms which they are using. So there's YouTube, Facebook, Twitch is some of them. There's also Zoom. So Zoom is most commonly used. So a lot of people, like for example, even ourselves now, we are using Zoom to push down this new product to you. So there's also other platforms which is not listed here, like Google Meet, MS Teams, Skype. Yeah, so there's a lot of platforms available. Okay, so we move on to our product line. So these are the products that we'll be covering today. So you can see here is an overview of all the products which ATEN have. So we have starting from UC3020 all the way to UC9040. So different product, they serve different requirement and features. So for UC3020 is a basic HDMI capturing card. So you can have a HDMI input go in, and then you capture in to the PC. Yeah. So this is very basic. Then we have a UC3021. This one have a HDMI capturing in, at the same time have a loop out. So if let's say you want to see what is the content that you're actually capturing, yeah, this will be helpful. Then at the same time, this one will plug into your PC to do the streaming out as well. Yeah. And then this is a mid-tier product. So UC3022 is a mid-tier product. So this one you can have audio mixing and also video mixing. Yeah. So this one you can have two input go in, mix in with a microphone audio or line in audio, and then capture the content to stream out. Yeah. Okay. So this is a mid-tier product. Then we have the flagship products. So flagship product is a UC9020 and 9040. 9020 is one step lower. So this one was launched earlier last year. So this one can also do video mixing and audio mixing. You can also do recording as well. So recording refers to local recording. So you can plug in your hard disk, you do a local recording. Okay. So 9040 was launched even later, maybe towards December, around end of the year. So this one there's add-on features. So there's more inputs, there's more transition effects, and then is more features. So this one we cover later. Yeah, because the hands-on demo is also be covering the UC9040. Okay, so if you are trying to do a live stream, so what do you require? So we have different product which meets different requirements. So this is somewhere you can take note of. So you can see here for basic capturing, you can use UC3020 or UC3021. Okay. Then if let's say you want to do multiple HDMI switching or some editing, you can use a UC3022. Yeah. And then subsequently, you need all these features where you need to have a preview, you need to do streaming, and you need to do recording as well. Then you can use a UC9020 or UC9040. Okay, so far, any questions? Hello? Can anyone hear me? No questions, huh? Okay. Okay, so we'll move on if no one has questions. Okay. Okay, so this is a feature comparison. You can see here that we have you see 3020, 3021, and 3022 here. Okay, so this one, as you can see here, as I mentioned, is very basic. 3022 has no loop out or no analog audio in, whereas 3021 has a loop out, and then 3022 has a so-called audio in, and then this one can do audio and video mixing. Yeah. So subsequently, you see 9020 and 9040 here. Yeah, so you can see here, this is a maximum input video resolution. So you can take in 4K. However, when you're doing capturing or you're doing streaming, is only at 1080p. So you can see the same for all here. Yeah, this is due to the limitation of the bandwidth. So when you capture, you can only capture at 1080p. Okay, so we move on to UC3020 product feature. Okay, as I mentioned, over here you have a HDMI input, and then this one is a USB-C. So over here you can see the connection diagram. So if you can have multiple equipment which have HDMI going into the UC3020, and then subsequently is connected to a laptop. This one is used for streaming. So the laptop can use the software like Zoom or OBS to do the stream out. Yeah, so this is very basic. Then we have UC3021. So 3021, as I mentioned, you can have the HDMI go in, and then you can have a loop out to a local monitor. And then after that, you can use the USB-C to capture and stream out through your PC or phone. Yeah. So this is the connection diagram. Okay. So the connection diagram here shows the UC3021. You can have a video source go in. Okay. And then you can have a loop out. So the loop out is to see what is the content which is being shared. At the same time, because if let's say you're using the newer laptop or MacBooks, there's a USB-C for charging. So if you supply power in, you can actually supply power to your laptop and at the same time transmit or capture the video source as well. And then you can use your PC or laptop to stream out using Zoom, OBS, or any other software. Okay, so another special thing about this UC3021 is as a quarter-inch mount. So this mount you can actually mount to the tripod stand or the hot shoe of the camera. So let's say, for example, this setup. Okay, so you can capture and then go into the phone, or it can be a PC as well, to stream out. Okay, so you can the application for this is when you think that the uh, okay, so sometimes you can ask, why do you need this kind of setup? So the setup is required when your phone camera is not so good. So you can use an external camera. You can have multiple lenses to fit different requirement. So maybe this one is just to cover the face, and then if let's say you want to cover like a wider area, yeah. So you can use a external camera, go in as a input to the phone, and then from the phone you can use Facebook or YouTube to stream out. Okay, so far, any questions?
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Moose, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Moose,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So you say, yeah, for this type of application, because using external camera is better than using the phone camera or the laptop camera, right?
Correct.
So by using this, you can plug into the USB port. What kind of USB standard port in the first place? There's USB 2 or the USB fast. There's now the latest high-speed USB port.
Correct. So if
So
you want
which
to
one?
take use of the PD or the high data transfer rate, you have to be a USB-C. So just now I mentioned is a USB-C.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I lost.
So because if USB-C, it can supply power pass through. So if you have a power supply go in, it can charge your device at the same time. You can also do a capturing.
Okay. So capturing now,
Mm.
does it compatible with like Zoom live stream direct?
Yes. So right now, how you're viewing this content is actually we're doing a capturing going into Zoom as an input. So that's why you can see on Zoom.
Okay. So is auto recognized when you plug in the USB, you will cut off the computer camera, or how do you need how do you set up?
Okay, so maybe I can show you. So over here, you see the video, right? You can select. So you can select from multiple sources. So if you have a USB input, you can select the USB capturing card.
On the Zoom?
On the Zoom itself, yes. This is a Zoom setting.
Where is it again? Because how come my main picture doesn't show your drop down bar?
It's not a whole stuff.
I only see the small drop down bar on your small screen.
Only host can see. Only host can see. This one only the host can see the
Drop
drop
down.
down bar. So
Oh,
is the setting for your video or audio. So let's say you plug in an external mic, you need to define the Zoom to use the external mic. So it's the same settings. So you can define what video content that you want to show.
inside the Zoom have under where?
Yeah, it's a Zoom setting.
Only for the host will have this. Oh, okay. Probably only the host will see the setting features.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Because actually last time got customer asked me about this, and I wasn't aware of this, so I missed out this opportunity.
Okay. Okay.
So now I see quite suitable for what the last time they asked me.
Yeah. So if you got any questions, you can always touch back with us. Then we will try
Okay, so
to
sorry,
propose a
Zoom and
solution to you.
any other kind of conferencing, most of it, right?
Come again?
Oh, it doesn't bother about compatibility, that as long it hook up to how should I say that, to the USB camera setup.
Yes. Because it just
Oh,
takes a HDMI feed in, then convert to a USB.
okay,
So it's
okay.
as easy as plugging in a webcam to your PC. So it's a
Okay.
similar setup. Yeah.
So as long as any conferencing system can support external USB input lah.
Correct.
In a way,
So
okay.
in the
Understand.
case of a phone, just now we mentioned, right? So
Yeah.
your phone has a USB-C. So you can just plug in direct. So this is a USB-C to USB-C link. And then on the platform that you're using, so if you're using a Facebook, you can select the camera input to be from this input.
This capturing will be both audio and video, right?
Yes. So if your camera has a microphone built in, this will carry both audio and video.
Okay, to the USB lah.
Yes.
Okay, understand. Okay, clear. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So any other questions? So if there's no questions, we'll proceed further. Okay, so next we move on to UC3022. Okay, so 3022, as I mentioned, this is a mid-range product from ATEN. So this one, it can combine a HDMI switch, audio video mixer, and then also the capturing as well. So this is the product itself. So as I mentioned, there is an audio in. So there's a XLR audio input and also a RCA audio in. And then there's a 2 HDMI input and then 1 program out. So this one is to connect to your monitor or local display. Then subsequently, whatever you have mixed can be captured through the USB to the PC. Okay, so the connection diagram is shown here. So any input is camera or PlayStation or Xbox, and then go in to the HDMI switch, and then can come out as a program out. So this is a local monitor. Then subsequently, this one connect to your PC for streaming. So it can be a PC or phone as well. So then you can stream out whatever which you have done or mix here. So there is a free app which is provided with a UC3022. So you can see here, this is the app that is provided by ATEN. So this one is where you do all your controls. So let's say you want to do a picture-in-picture layout. So you can either use a predefined layout or you can customize your own. Okay, you can also do chroma key if you're into this. So you have a green screen background. You just select the color and then you can input another source. Okay, and then this one also has a transition as well. So over here, I think it's shown here. Fade. So you can do a fading or you just cut. So you cut means is a straight away you cut into the next one. Fade means there's a bit of a transition. Yeah. And then as you can see, the control is actually detachable. So you're not bound by any physical cables. So this phone can be moved around, in other location, whereas this box is already hooked up to your setup. Yeah. So you can still do a switching all this from the phone itself. Yeah. And then it's very small. So if you have seen the product, is you can fit inside any bag, and then you can just carry and proceed to your different locations if you are doing like event streaming, this kind of setup. Okay, so far anyone have any questions? So if we have no question, we move on to the flagship product.
Moose, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, your voice are still a bit soft. Don't know why.
It's still very soft.
Not very clear. I already maximum with it, my volume.
Because we are using an external microphone, so I'm not sure if everyone can hear us.
Try to adjust it lah.
Okay, wait, maybe.
I don't know about the rest, but my side, my speaker already max 100% already.
Okay, let me adjust the gain again. Oh, you already maxed out the gain.
Also max out already. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm not sure. You can still hear me or it's very soft?
Not very soft lah, but I would prefer to be louder a bit so I don't have to max my
okay.
volume.
Okay,
so go ahead, can no problem.
So we proceed, because the rest can hear us. So I'm not sure. Maybe you can connect to external speaker. Okay. So if there's no questions, I think we'll proceed on further. Okay. So as I mentioned, UC9020 was launched earlier. So this is the first product which ATEN launched for semi-professionals. So this one you can see it's I can show you the product. Yeah. So this is the UC9020 connection guide. So you can see over here there is one 4K in and then one loop out. So this is if let's say you have a PlayStation 4, you want to go in here. At the same time, you want to continue playing. So you can loop out, go to your monitor to see. Yeah, and then you can have multiple HDMI input in here to do overlay, or you want to show side by side. Yeah, so you can have multiple HDMI input in as well. And then you have mic in. So there's a quarter-inch jack also. You can have a microphone in, and then we have a RCA for speaker. Okay, and then if let's say you want to do a local recording, you can plug in your external hard disk here, and then you record locally. At the same time, you can stream out to other platforms as well. So let's say you're going to YouTube or Facebook, or you're a gamer, you want to stream to Twitch. Yeah. And then this is another software for broadcasting to a lot of audience. Yeah. Okay. Whereas on the side, there is another USB. This USB is connected to the iPad. And then this is for controls. So as I shown over here, the UI will be something like this. So the information between the UC9020, 9040, and the iPad is passed through this USB. And then they have this transition control. So you can slide in, can control how fast the transition is or how slow the transition is using this slider bar. And then you can also have some preset. So this you can load presets instantaneously. So this one later we cover on the live demo we have. And then over here you can have the volume knob. So this volume knob is to control individual audio. So if let's say you have a HDMI audio, you can have either the audio follow the video. So you can control how loud the audio is, or you want to mute, you can also mute the audio. So you just disable the audio follow video, and then you can have the line in. So it will mix the HDMI and the line in audio. And else the same case for mic as well. So you can have the mic audio or the line in audio. Okay, so that is for UC9020. So we move on to UC9040, which is the flagship product from ATEN. So this is the top end from ATEN, top end offering. So you can see here the layout is pretty much still similar, but now you have more inputs. So over here you can see there's an additional input. So over here there's a 3 full HD HDMI in, one 4K HDMI in. So this one remain the same. So it's a loop out. So you can go back to a local monitor. And then over here you can have multiple sources going in. And then the same for the USB storage. You can plug in a hard disk, and you can do recording for local usage. And then for the mic and the audio source, now they have changed it to quarter inch. So you can have two quarter inch jack, one for mic and one for line in if you require. And then after that, you can do the mixing, and then you can stream out. And then we also have a program video out. So this program video out is what you will see after all the mixing. So the video and audio mixing, this is like a program preview of what have been mixed. And now the connector has been changed to a USB-C. So if you're using an iPad, you can just connect directly. So okay, just hang on for a while. Yeah, you press the go live again. Okay, can. Yeah, I think can. Okay. So I'll continue. So anyone got any questions so far? So far no questions. So I think I'll still proceed. Okay. So I need to mention that this product currently is support the iPad Pro, and then you also support the normal iPad. So if you're using the normal iPad, you need to use the USB to Lightning adapter. Yeah. So when you use the iPad normal one, you need the Lightning adapter. Then only you can interface together with the UC9020 or 9040. Yeah. Same goes for the iPad Air and the iPad Mini. So this product, you need the iPad for configuration, but subsequently, once you have configured and saved the settings, so you already map all the settings to the scenes, then you don't require the iPad. So if let's say customer say, why do I need an iPad for operation? I just want to have something, just press the button to do the switching, all this. Yeah. So you need to do a first time configuration. Then subsequently, you can just pass the device to the customer to use. So you just need to tell them what does preset 1 do, what does preset 2 do, what does preset 3 do. Yeah. So other than that is quite you know um is very user friendly. So you can see if you press the HDMI in one, so is the source will change to HDMI in one. And then if you want to have the audio follow the video, you press the audio follow video button. So the audio from the HDMI will follow. Yeah. But let's say you are mixing the audio with a line in audio, then you need to disable the audio follow video. So you mute the audio from HDMI, and then you enable the line in. You can have the audio from audio one, which is audio one here, or audio 2. So audio 2 is the other audio. Yeah. Okay. This is if you're mixing the line in audio with HDMI audio, but you can also mixing with the HDMI 1 video with a HDMI 2 audio. Yeah. This is also still possible. Yeah. Okay. So once if you configure everything, you can configure the stream key with the stream URL on the iPad. So you always stream out to the respective like platform. So if let's say you have a Facebook or YouTube, you always use this platform. So you just need to save the URL and the stream key, and then when you press go live, you always stream to that particular URL. Okay. So now how we are doing the streaming. Actually, we are actually having a concurrent YouTube session also being streamed. So if you follow our channel, you can also see the YouTube stream as well. Yeah. Okay. So I'll proceed further.
Sorry, you have YouTube. You are streaming now on YouTube.
Yes, we're also streaming on YouTube at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So if you want to see, you can go to Simply Connect. You search for our channel on YouTube.
Simply Connect.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So as I mentioned, this is a hardware. It's a portable hardware as well. So you can carry around. Maybe you're moving from event to event. You can also use this. It's a portable device. Okay. So this is a comparison between the previously launched UC9020 and the UC9040 now. For the HDMI input, now UC9040 has 4 inputs. Okay. So there was 3 of it is full HD, 1 is a 4K. And then for the audio input, we have a 1/4 inch, 2 of them. And we also have a USB audio. So I'm not sure if I show you. So over here, there's a 2 USB. So one is for storage. So this one you can plug in your hard disk drive. So you record to the hard disk drive. The other USB, you can plug in USB mic. So if you have a USB mic, you can plug in direct. You can also detect as audio in as well. Okay. Yeah. Then we have a transition. So transition is something which is newly added on as a feature for UC9040. And then a lot of people have been asking for it. When is the support for PC coming? So ATEN is developing the support for PC as well. So if you have bought the UC9040, in future ATEN will support the PC platform as well. So instead of having an iPad, you can just connect to the PC and then do the control of switching all this through the PC as well. Yeah. Okay. So apart from that, yeah. So now because it's a USB-C port on the UC9040, it support power delivery. So if you have an iPad, you charge the iPad at the same time, you can also do the controlling as well. Yeah. And then they're also building support for control with ATEN control system. So this one is on demand basis because ATEN has deployed some projects before using control system and the UC9040. So this one, if you require, we can help you, come up with a solution with the use case of the control system. Yeah. Okay, so this is an overview of the UC9040. So it supports 4 HDMI input. It has direct streaming. You can also do dual streaming. So that means you can stream to 2 platforms at the same time. And then you can also do the recording as well. So you do recording using the USB external hard disk. Okay, so it support multiple platform, not only limited to YouTube and Facebook. So anything which support the RTMP protocol to stream out. So you can do streaming using that. So this is something which you can take note of. So far, any questions? Okay, so we proceed.
Sorry, what time will this session end?
We still have a hands-on demo, so maybe around 11 plus we'll end.
11 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So we proceed. If it's too slow, maybe you can let us know. We maybe go a bit faster. Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned, ATEN is still working on the product. So they are trying to still add on more features. So for UC9040, there's more support coming in. So one of them is the control system control, as I mentioned earlier. So if you add in the VK series into the picture, you can actually control the UC9040 using the control system. So you can select the source, the switching, mixing, all these you can control from the control system itself. Yeah, as I mentioned, this is on a demand basis. So if you have to register the project with us, then we will help you come up with a solution and the project for the control system as well. Because ATEN has built the driver file. So if you have used the control system before, you know that you need a driver file for doing certain command or feature. So once you load the driver file, you can control the UC9040 from the VK. Okay. Subsequently, you can also stream directly to Zoom. So if you all know, Zoom actually supports a feature where you can do RTMP streaming directly to Zoom. So they are building the support for this as well. So Zoom would release a RTMP stream key and the link. Then you have to input it into the UC9040 UI. Then subsequently, when you do go live, so you stream out to the platforms directly. Okay, and then as I mentioned, everyone has been asking for this. So the PC control is coming. It's controlled by LAN. So the PC has to be sitting on the same LAN infrastructure as the UC9040. And then subsequently, you can do the audio, video mixing, transitioning, all this using the PC. So the UI, they will try to keep the same to that of those people who have been using the iPad UI. So you don't need to worry about learning a new software all over. So it's still like the same UI. Okay. They're also adding support for Wi-Fi, so-called the Wi-Fi support. So instead of a physical USB connection between the tablet and the device, you can also connect through Wi-Fi. Okay. So far, I hope you all have no questions. Yeah, so Cha is asking whether they support NDI function to video mix. So NDI is another standalone protocol. So this one we need to check with ATEN whether it support. So we'll get back to you on this. Okay, so if there's no more questions, we'll proceed further. Okay, so we'll share with you some of the usage application for the UC302021 and 22. Okay, so for basic application, as I mentioned, you just want to use external camera, capture in, then stream out using a software. You can use this. So like let's say a gamer is a gaming, so she can show the gaming, and then you can also overlay with video. This one, if you're using OBS, you can do this. Yeah. And then if let's say you're using a 3021, the same case, so your device can go in, okay, and then you can have a local loop out, so you can see what you're playing. Okay, for this connection, I think I forgot to mention, maybe you need to have the software to do the mixing. So over here, they use a software to do the mixing. So if you're using Twitch or OBS, you can mix your gaming feed and also your video feed. So then you can stream out using the software. And then this one over here is a local loop out. So your video content go in, you have a local monitor, you can view what is the game that you're playing. And then after that, the USB is captured into the PC or Mac, use another platform to do the streaming out. So for gaming, the most popular platform is actually Twitch. So if you are into gaming, you can check out Twitch. Okay, so we'll come back to our real world application. So real world application, like you have education or you have a worshipping, all these. Yeah. So where you see 3022 can fit in. So just now it was 3021. So now we move on to 3022. So 3022 is you can mix audio and video together, and then you can do picture in picture or picture by picture as well. So let's say you have your PC showing a PowerPoint presentation. It can be one input in, and then you can have another camera HDMI in, go into the 3022. With an external microphone, you can mix. So once you mix, you have the PowerPoint slides at the background, and then the video feed in front. And then you can use whatever platform to stream out. So the output will be something like this. So let's say you're teaching using by hand, so maybe you can have a camera pointed at your working on material, then you can write, and then you can have another camera pointed at your face. Then this one you can show your overview of the face. Then another use case will be, let's say you're using a whiteboard, then one camera is pointed at the whiteboard, and then another camera is pointed at the face of the participant. Okay, so another application just to run through with you is let's say you are conducting your home cooking session. So a lot of people during COVID, I think they have set up a lot of home businesses. So if let's say you're doing cooking from home and you are also streaming it out, uh, so you can actually see. So you can maybe be the next Gordon Ramsay, or Paula, what's it? Paula. Mm. Okay, so you can have one camera pointing at the food, and then you can have one camera pointing at you doing the cooking, and then you can mix with an external microphone which is connected to yourself. Okay, then after that you can use some kind of a streaming platform, so YouTube or Facebook. So you still need this one. You still need a PC to do the streaming out. Yeah. So this one actually is a USB capture into the PC or phone, then stream out. Yeah. Okay. So we proceed to 9020 and 9040. So this one is also can be used for personal usage. If you're a professional YouTuber, you're doing YouTube full time, you can use this. So you can have a camera and a microphone feed in, and then you can stream out using a YouTube or whatever platform. So this one is a direct connection by LAN to your home internet, stream out to YouTube. Yeah. So as I mentioned, this is a YouTuber. I think it's from China. Yeah. So she do like a live karaoke session. So they show the lyrics and then the song title, all these. Yeah. So this is all being mixed and then stream out through the platform. So is YouTube is the platform that they are using to stream out. Okay. So for local application, I think you have some local YouTubers as well doing it. So like for example, the Smart Local, if you follow Smart Local, so they can have like questions overlay on top, and then there's a camera pointing at the people, and then there's an image overlay showing some some facts here, and then they can also have a logo here as well. So this is all mixed using UC 9040, 9020, that kind of a scenario. And then Mr. Popular, Mr. Brown, if you all know Mr. Brown, yeah, he also got some professional equipment. So there's a camera pointing at him. There's a logo, okay, and then they can have a image overlay and then a text overlay on top. So later maybe we show you on the hands-on demo how this one can be done. Yeah. This one, yeah, this is a movies. Movies is a religious government body. Yeah. Okay, so you can see here the same use case. So the camera is pointing at the person presenting. They have an image overlay, and then they also have like a text overlay. Yeah. So the application is a very varying. So it depends on your use case scenario. So you can be from just like a podcast or like an interview, all the way to gaming, or even um, yeah, like you're selling products online. Yeah, you can do all the way to there. Okay. Okay, real application like house of worship. We have a deployment using a mixture of ATEN products. So this is a church. So this church is a few levels. So it's a first floor here, second floor here, third floor here, fourth floor here, all the way up to eighth floor. So for the distribution of the content, they are using the video over IP product. So it's going through their network switch, and then they distribute the content throughout the whole building. And then the program output is connected to the transmitter. So whatever they mix here is actually being transmitted to the transmitter, and then all the receiver will pull the stream. This is for local. For those people who are viewing from online, that means a remote participant, you will stream out. So you can use YouTube or Facebook. So you stream out. So those people from home, they can view the content. Okay, so the same similar setup can also be applied for education or online courses as well. So you can have a multiple camera pointing at the lecturer or the students, and then the presentation slides also be going in to the UC 9040 or 9020. Okay, so this is a local classroom. So this part here is a local classroom. So the local students are actually listening to the lecturer presenting the class here. So at the same time, you can stream out. So you stream out through the internet. You can go to different locations. So it can be the same campus, or it can be a remote participant tuning in from the house. Okay. Yeah. So this is another use case for education. Okay. So subsequently, we have is a mixture of a local and also streaming out. So this is in the event of you have multiple local classrooms, multiple clusters actually seeing the presentation of the lecturer, and also streaming out. Yeah, so the use case is similar to the church setup. So they use the video over IP for the broadcasting for local network, and then the UC9040 is used to stream out. Yeah. Okay. So let's say you use for live streaming of a product launch or live events. Yeah, you can also use UC9040. Same setup or same scenario. So you have multiple cameras pointed at the presenter, and you can also have the presentation slides, and then they transmit to the local participant. At the same time, also stream out to YouTube or other streaming platform. Okay, so can also be applied to seminar, conferences, summits, and meetings. Yeah, so like let's say now you have the message being broadcast from the Ministry of Health. So Ministry of Health, they want to show, you have Mr. Gan Kim Yong trying to show the statistics of how COVID is improving, all this. Yeah, so this is somewhere which you can use also. Yeah, so they have a camera pointing at him. You get the slides, maybe showing some stats, all these. Yeah, and then you can broadcast to YouTube or Facebook or whatever platform which you are showcasing to. Okay. Yeah. So we also have an application where it's a mixture of traditional AV and then also streaming out. So this is where you have multiple sources in. You want to show on different displays for locally, at the same time stream out as well. Yeah. So mainly the UC9040 is used for mixing and streaming. So you have this kind of a scenario, you can use UC9020 or UC9040. Okay.